Can I ask you about a few of the players?
Yeah.
Big one this week, Tunday has moved on. Can you tell us a little bit about background to that?
I always think, listen, you know me now, been here a year, I'll just be honest. Sunday's come to the club, fresh start, moving up a level. Good kid. Don't think he's at the heights of what we expected, being honest. And the other thing is, we've pushed Danny Lloyd through, probably since he scored at Needham Market, when he went up front with Proctor, when Proctor come on and they both scored. We've noticed Danny coming a little bit deeper midfield with up front, and he's obviously creating and scoring goals. He's one of the top forwards in the division. I expect everyone to work hard and do what's right in training and try and get themselves in the team. Sunday's had 1 or 2 starts, but you know, I've very early days when in the season, and you know, I've had Bernard Morley with fella respect and get on all right with. He's asked me if Sunday's available. I said no, he's our player, we want to give him a chance. He needs to just, you know, learn quicker and work hard and get in the team. No one's got a divine right to be in the team. Yeah. Nothing was happening. Then obviously they've asked again and I said no. And then Sundays comes to see me and say he's not happy about not playing, he should be playing, he's 29, etc, etc. So, you know, I don't want you to go, you're here, you're part of the squad, this is your club, you're on contract. Comes to see me again 2 days later, knows about Radcliffe's interest, wants to leave. So, you know, and how that's happened, you know, as I say, the only person I've spoken to is Bernard, and I take his word for it, he swore on it that he hasn't touched base with him, but someone's touched base with him and his father, who's his representative. And let's have it right, he was in the building last year, he was agreed to sign, right. He was introduced to people, he was at a game, but you know, in football sometimes you can't hold grudges, and he turned us down. Well, he was agreed, and then within a couple of days later he signed for Macclesfield. So this year he's come, doesn't want to work hard for his position, feels that you know, he'd be better off going to Radcliffe, and you know, his dad rang me and said exactly the same. He wants a fresh start. I said, we're 8 games into the season, this is his fresh start. This is the first time he's played at the level. Get yourself in the team. He played the last game in the FA Cup against Ard. So I find it quite baffling in this day and age. It's just, you know, our move's been instigated to say, but nothing against Bernard Morley, because that's the conversation I've had with me and him. But you know, someone's been into his ribs, because ultimately he's not happy here and wants to move to Radcliffe. Yeah. So what do you do? I'm not going to have anyone who's staying here. Yeah, I can't stand in his way. That's the decision he's made. Yeah. Decent enough fella, but again, I was always taught, you know, you've got to work hard in life, not just football. Yeah. He'll have his reasons or whatever. You know, I don't know, but it's nothing against me. So he's telling me nothing against the staff, the club, the players. But ultimately, he wants to leave and have a fresh start after 8 games. So he's now over at Radcliffe. Yeah. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. It's as simple as that, but I'm not best pleased about it. I'm a bit frustrated because it leaves us a body down, and obviously gives us that little bit of pace that we need. So yeah, we as I say, I don't hold grudges, you know, unless someone really disrespects me or does something against me or my family, then there's no coming back. But in football, when someone agrees to sign for you and they don't follow that through, there's handshakes, the chairman shook his hand, his dad's hand, and then he's gone a little bit back on, 100% back on his word, and he goes to Macclesfield. We buried that. We spoke to him. We didn't hold a grudge. They reached out to us. We went, Sam, we'll take him. But to do it this time and say, I need a fresh start. I don't really want to work hard to get in the side after the early days. You started, there's 8 games when he asked, or even less than that. He played in all of them bar 1. Yeah. He started obviously the FA Cup game, and he started against Needham Market. And even he said he didn't cover himself in glory in the Needham Market game, you know, because he said to me about keeping the faith in him, and you know, he's ready to be here and rock and roll and battle and work hard to get in the side. So as I say, a little bit of, you know, Danny going through and playing off Proctor or Carver as a 2 up top. Sometimes we'll drop him down a little bit like we did today, just to counter that and see where we can, you know, hurt opposition. But for me, hasn't done enough, and I just feel disappointed in this day and age when people aren't willing to work hard to get themselves in the team. Whatever's happened, someone's got into his ribs, and his dad's told me he wants to leave, he's told me he wants to leave and go and sign for Radcliffe, so away you go.
Doyley was out today, bit of a groin, I believe.
Yeah, just clipped one and training on Tuesday, slight tight groin.
Nothing serious.
Nothing serious, he could be back. We'll see what happens on that one.
Sonny
obviously done a bit of a mad one with his shoulder when he fell. He's back running, but obviously he's done no falling down or strength test and things like that. So the only good thing is with a shoulder you can still do your ball work, and he's actually dipped in and out of training little bits when we're doing possession and that, and we just told the lads no one tackle him, we'll just keep him ticking over. But he'll be top end with regards to, you know, being able to do fitness work and ball work and all that. It's just getting that strength back on the shoulder, which as I say, probably a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit less, depending on how quickly he can heal. But he's a young lad, nice to see him out there doing a bit before the game today. So I think he's done well since he's been here, Sonny, to be fair to him, and I think he's one that will only get better and better as well.
Great to see Harry back today. I know he says he's probably going to be out for the season, so let's be honest about it. But it's good to see him back watching the lads.
Yeah, not nice for him, and you know, we have missed him. You know, he's an aggressive player, he's a good lad, he's honest, and you know, it's the first time I've seen him today since you know, the Cliftonville game, so you can hear that, well respected when he goes in the changing rooms and everyone's made up to see him. So yeah, he's a good lad, so disappointed for him more than anyone. Disappointed for us because we lost a good player, you know, before the ball was even kicked. So that's life, that's football, we just got to move on.
What about replacements, Jim? We are a bit light now, aren't we, with
we're a bit
Tunday going? Is there any chance that
100%. Listen, we're always trying to improve. You know, there's not a bottomless pit of money. There's been an improvement this year. We're never going to be one of the big boys. We've moved up, obviously, in the rankings with regards to where we are financially. But yeah, there's a wage there, obviously, with Tunday. There's a little bit of a transfer fee there as well. You know, we've just got to make sure that we identify the right ones. Don't think for 1 minute that myself, Andy Burgess, Alan Morgan, you know, anyone else who associated with us or in the club, we're looking at trying to improve at all times. You know, it's nice to say, well, let's go and get him and him. That's not always the way.
Don't work like that.
You can speak to people, and some people might want to come, might not want to come. The clubs might not want to let them go. Is there any free, you know, transfers knocking around at the minute? Is the people who've fallen out of their parent clubs? We're assessing all the time. We've spoke to people, but we've hit a few brick walls at the minute. And as I say, it's not just a case of, you know, a bit more at the top end. Is, you know, we're trying to improve. It's moving all the time. You can't stand still in this game, because once you think you've cracked, and we certainly haven't, other people move and improve, and we've got to do that. So you know, that's the way, that's the nature of the game. Whether it be a loan, whether it be a permanent, we're always trying to improve. But obviously now there's a slot within the squad. We've had young Renato on the bench today for the first time, which is great for him. He's done well at youth level for the club. So yeah, we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we'll do something sooner rather than later. But it's got to be the right one, right player, right character. Yeah.
You mentioned next week we've got Brackley, but before that, on Wednesday we've got an exciting game with the youth team are playing in the next round of the FA Youth Cup against Trafford. That's a 7:45 kick-off on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to for the young lads to play here.
100%. FA Youth Cup myself, when I was in it, it's, you know, well, as we've seen with the FA Cup, it's massive. You know, you want to do well, and it's the youth team's FA Cup, if you like, with the FA Youth Cup. So I went to watch them in the last round against Vauxhalls. Fully deserved the win. You can see how excited and pleased they were, and it just gives everyone a lift. So now they've got the next round on Wednesday. I've seen it firsthand, because when I was at Fyle, that team got to the 5th round of the FA Youth Cup.
The final team did?
Yeah, and it's exactly this, well, not exactly, it's a similar setup to what we have here. And you know, they beat the likes of Sunderland and Cambridge on the way, and they went out to Chelsea in the end. There's people playing against them, you know, a load of lads from Fyle in the 5th round away from home down in London. And they're playing against players who, you know, I'd like to look over that team again and see how many of them are playing, but the big lads there on 5 figures a week playing against them, and they only got beat 2-0 in the end by Chelsea. So I can see what excitement it brings for players and the families, youngsters who are trying to make their way in the game, and it's very, very important as part of the progression. It's a slightly different game because it's FA Youth Cup and all that, and all the exposure and the feel-good factor. So it's a big game for not just for them, but for the club. Because if they go and win on Wednesday, it just gives everyone a little lift again. So we wish them well.
Something for them to look forward to.
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jeb.